Hello, guys. Good morning. Welcome to Market Live Analysis with Prince Wonder. Now, what we're going to be doing on the program is we're going to be analyzing financial markets for Forex, crypto, using technical analysis, fundamental analysis. We're going to be trying to see what direction the market is going to take for the rest of the week and how we should be reacting to it to make the most out of it. All right. So now during the program, we'll allow you to recommend tokens or coins or currency pairs that you'd like to see analyzed, and we're going to be running an analysis together and seeing where the market is going to end up at the end of the day. So stay with us and let's flow with the process. All right. So we're going to be starting with the forex market. We're going to start with Euro USD because the market has been a little. We broke below a major support yesterday, and so it's a little. It's a point of interest right now. So let's just go on there and see what we have. Okay. I trust everybody can see my screen. If you can see my screen, you can just send a message in the group so that I know we're communicating. Okay. Okay, great. So Euro USD is one of my favorite tokens, currency pairs to trade. So as you can see, I've done a lot of work on this chart. So now we broke below this level yesterday, and ever since it's okay, day before yesterday actually. No. So we broke below this support level that we've been using since April yesterday or the day before yesterday. So it's been a downward spiral. So the first thing we need to do on this chart in order to gain an analysis or to begin our analysis is to find out where our next key levels are. Okay. So if you notice, the Euro USD has been in a sell, or the USD has been gaining for a while now against the Euro. So we've been on a really serious sell since June 2021. So it's been a serious downtrend for the last 1 year. Now we've broken below certain, I think we've broken below this key level here. Let me try to confirm that first. So I think major support was here. Let's just go back a bit. Now, please pay attention because you'll be learning a lot from my analysis and the way I do this, so you may be able to pick up a thing or two to apply to your own analysis later on, okay? Okay, so this is actually there. Should be somewhere here. Okay, now this is simply just pointing out where our major level is on this chart, where our key support level is on a higher time frame. Now, understand something about trading here, even with technical analysis. What we're doing is we're trading trends. Now, the trend you trade is, well, a continuation of another one. So if we're in an uptrend in the market right now, it could be a short-term move or a long-term move. So you just need to get a grasp of the general trend of the market so you know if you should be looking more for a sell or more for a buy on the longer term. So whenever you come down to your lower time frame and you're taking the short-term buys and sells, you know it's just a temporary thing. It's not really long-term, okay? That's why I went as far as trying to identify this key support level here. So now using this on our higher time frame, we've actually just retested the major support, right? We've always just tiptoed around it in the past. So we really just retested this zone for the first time in okay, we entered it here. Okay, so since 2003, basically, we're just retesting this major support. Now, if this market is likely to overturn this massive sell, since this 1 year sell for the euro, it's most likely going to come from this level, right? So I personally use the RSI. So if you look at the RSI, we've really not bottomed out yet. So in as much as this is a key support, I really wouldn't be looking forward to a long-term buy yet until I get a signal from the RSI. Okay, so until I get a signal from the RSI, I really wouldn't be taking any long-term or any serious buy on this market. So, but I could still take short-term trades, right? Now, likewise, the RSI actually has a lot more signals to give you, not just overbought and oversold. If you look at this, you notice we've had seriously declining momentum for the last 1 year. Yeah, more than a year now, since December 2020. This is the daily time frame, and the RSI has not hit overbought since December 2020. The RSI has not hit overbought since December 2020 on Euro USD 1-day chart. Now that's alarming. It tells you there's a serious mindset shift in this market. So we really need serious news or serious momentum to really push this market out of here. And peradventure, we have that it's going to be a really serious buy for Euro USD. Now, so coming down to a lower time frame, short term. Sorry. Now remember, as much as we analyze the higher time frame and all that, basically what we want to do is to find out what the market is likely going to do next. Okay, what the market is likely going to do next. So we're just taking this step by step to see, okay, where are we? Are we at a support? Are we at a resistance? Then we go successively. The market may not have bottomed out on the daily time frame, but on a lower time frame, 4-hour, 1 hour chart, we may have hit a short-term support, and we could be expecting a short-term reversal from the market. Okay, so in this case now, as we're unable to find a bottom, since this zone is so large, we're unable to find a bottom. We're just going to use where the market is bouncing off of right now as our support. Okay, we just draw a line here. So we're going to use this level as our support. So provided the market breaks below this, we know we're going to have a lower low, certainly. So remember, the market hasn't bottomed out on the daily time frame, so we actually are expecting a lower low. There's a low below this one. So, but for now, we'll use this as our support, and we could take short-term trades from there. All right. Now, on the 4-hour chart, we can see the market is still overbought, oversold. Sorry. So we could be expecting a short-term reversal from the market. Yeah, we could be expecting a short-term reversal from the market. This is our resident resistance right now. There's a previous support, is our current resistance right now. So if we're expecting a buy, we really wouldn't be expecting it to go beyond this point. And personally, I really wouldn't even expect this market to get all the way back up there. Not right now, not with the idea of a lower low looming. So the thing I'd actually be focusing on is the resistance before that one, which is at this point here. Okay, which is at this point here. So this is where I'll be looking at for my first book profit on this particular trade. Now, looking at the RSI here, we were seeing signs of a pullback, right? Personally, to get an entry for this particular trade now, I'd probably be waiting to see a pullback to this zone and see, provided the support holds, then I take a really good trade back up. So in this case now, I might be waiting a little bit for the market to give us a much better entry. Okay, take that entry from there, put my stop loss here, and take profit at this point. So that's the neat 56 pips profit on this particular trade. So we just need to wait to see if the market gives us an entry. If we don't get an entry from here, I'm definitely taking a sell from that resistance. So it's a two-way thing. If the market should trend upward, I'm taking a sell from here, from this resistance back down here, and then a buy from here. Okay, so depending on the higher time frame, we get to determine if we're going to be taking a short term, where our direction is on the short term. Okay, so you're identifying the larger trend and then using it to trade the lower time frame. You're trading the continuation of the larger trend on the lower time frame. You're trading the continuation of the larger trend on the lower time frame. Okay, so identify the larger trend and then break it down into bits and pieces and trade them. Okay, so this is this for Euro USD, GBP USD. We should see more of the same. Okay, like I said, so we'll see more of the same. This market is trending bullish. We see signs of a pullback here. Okay, well, we could actually trend upwards. First resistance should be where my previous stop loss was here. Yes. So already hitting a resistance here, and if the market should break above this, we'll take a buy to this zone. Personally, there really isn't any trade to take on GBP USD right now because we're already pretty much at a resistance. This market really doesn't look like it's going to slow down at this resistance. Considering the strong buy, it doesn't look like we're going to slow down at this resistance. But we can't take a buy from a resistance. We can't take a buy from a resistance. It's just against our trading rules, our rules. We can't take a buy from a resistance. So we have to allow this market to break above the resistance before we enter a buy. Okay? We have to allow the market to break above the resistance before we can enter a buy position. I trust you guys are following me. Okay, Chronicles, go ahead. Hello? Okay, so like I said, we can't take a buy from a resistance, so we have to allow the market to break out first before we enter a buy move from somewhere here and then place our stop loss below. So for this, we just wait and watch the market, but for Euro USD, we could actually get an entry. You can see the market already coming down. Okay, so let's go to the cryptocurrency market. Okay, so yesterday in the group, I told you guys Bitcoin was going to have a rally or a move back above 20,000, right? And right now we are back above 20,000. So now where are we going to from here? Because as always, the market is not going to stop. The market is always going to keep moving, right? So where are we going to from here? Where are we going to from here? That's the next question. All right. So let's look at the nature of what happened yesterday before we try to see what we're going to do next. Okay. So now, after Bitcoin retested 20,000, we formed a bearish divergence here, which actually preceded the downtrend, the sell, right? But now we didn't actually retest, we didn't come back as low as we did before or to the support that we started from, right? So this was more of a pullback, and now we're having a bullish continuation. Now, also seeing what's happening on the RSI and what's happening on price, I'd be more on the impression that we're going to have a bullish breakout and probably head up all the way to 21,000, 21,200. Okay, so personally, I'll be looking forward to a break. Probably by tomorrow, next tomorrow, we should be seeing $21,000 from the market. Let's check the higher time frame and see. Okay, so here too, we've not really hit any overbought or oversold yet. So this market still seems like it could trend upwards. There's still room for the market to grow or for the market to move up. So expecting as high as on 21K really isn't far-fetched considering all that's on this chart. So I'll just be looking up to $21,000. Now, the most important thing, since all of us cannot actually trade Bitcoin based on maybe one or two reasons, the profit return will be low and many other excuses. So our trades are mostly based on alternate coins, right? Our crypto trades are mostly based on alternate coins. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be taking your suggestions on points that we should analyze in the cryptocurrency market. So you tell me what you want to analyze in the crypto market, and we'll start with that. So who's going first? Our first coin we should take a look at. Come on, guys, give me recommendations. Which points should we look at? Which alternate points should we look at? BAT, my former favorite alternate coin. Okay. Missed this trade. Okay, so let's start with BAT. I've Virgin, my chart is on BAT. Not used it in a very long time. Or I've not traded it in a very long time. Okay, so this one actually looks straightforward. Seems like we've had a breakout and a retest. Okay, now let me tell you guys something, huh? Your analysis is basically what you see in the market. You have to see it before you can basically make a conclusion on it. Okay, so the most important thing when running an analysis is seeing. Seeing is what you see, you use. I tell my students all the time, if you don't see it, you can't use it. So your first task is to try to see. Okay, your first task is to try to see the market, to see what's happening on your chart before you start drawing anything. Okay, now I've had years of experience with this, so I really don't need a lot of time to see what's happening in the market. So now, like I said, we've had a breakout and a retest. So this is what I meant by that. Resistance, we've broken out of it, we've retested it, and now we most likely have a bullish continuation. Now, the next question is, where are we heading to? If we have a bullish continuation, almost certainly we'll expect a higher high. So where is that higher high going to take us to? Firstly, this is the next resistance. Do this. Okay. So those are the next resistance for BAT. So if we have a bullish continuation from here, hopefully Bitcoin gives us the go ahead. So if we have a bullish continuation from here, we're going to be seeing at least a 10% move for BAT. Yep, our first take profit is at 9%. The second one is at 16%. So should BAT give us this move, we're going to be seeing a really decent return on investment on that. And stop loss. We enter the current price, and stop loss has to be somewhere here. So whatever the case, we're having at least almost 1:2 to trade with. Now please never trade below 1:1. Even if the 1:1 really isn't all that advisable, but it's manageable. Okay, so don't trade below 1:1. Okay, so the next point, WKC. WKC. Okay. Let's get was that WKC or WKC? Hmm. There's no WKC on TradingView, so maybe we should look for other assets. Okay, we'll come back to the forex market. Let's finish from crypto. So BNX USDT. Well, we have to wait for a breakout on this one. There's not much we can do here. Like I said, your eyes are, or like Spyro just said in the group, our eyes are our most prized assets in the market. So you have to see. It's your eyes that run the analysis. All this drawing we draw on the chart is simply visual representation of what we have seen. Simply visual representation of what we have seen. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, I'll just use this. So we are at a resistance currently. We're fighting for a breakout. Okay. Yeah, yeah. But at a resistance. But I actually do think this is going to break out, and here's why. We've been hitting that resistance while making a higher low. So that counts for something. It shows people are entering this market at a premium while they're hitting this resistance. So if anything, we should see a breakout to the upside. Now, for that to happen, this downtrend now should not go below this trend line. If we break below this trend line, don't expect the market to bounce back up because if we break below this trend line, now this trend line is our major support holding the market up. So if we break below this trend line right now, we're most likely going to have a bearish continuation. So you want to see this market break out of the resistance, then you take a buy from on top of the resistance. Don't take buys from a resistance. You have to wait for the market to break out. Okay, never take a buy at a resistance. So this is for BNX. You have to wait for the market to break out first before you take your buy on this trade. Okay. Analysis really isn't all that difficult. You just need to select the information you work with. It's not everything on your chart that's useful. Okay, so ETH USDT. Okay. Not really an Ethereum fan. Okay, wonderful. So we're on the same page, Mr. Godwin. Let's just see how it plays out. If he meets our parameters, we'll enter. If it doesn't, we'll allow it to go on its own. For Ethereum, this seems to be ranging here for now. I think we okay, not very divergence. But we seem to be ranging here for now. If Bitcoin does break out, we'll also see a higher high for Ethereum, so you might want to keep that option open. But for now, we're ranging here. For now, we're ranging here. So you might just want to take a buy and sell while the market um, ranges within that zone. Also, we may want to keep an eye on this. Okay, that's not relevant. So you just want to watch these two zones. Anyone the market breaks out of, you take an extended buy or sell. But for now, just follow the range, sell the resistance, buy the support until Bitcoin gives us a direction, and then you most likely see a breakout on Ethereum. Okay, so just watch that and not every analysis gives us an entry immediately. Some other ones you have to wait and see. Some you can take a trade immediately. Take BAT, for example. It's where we can enter the market and it gives us, it meets all the requirements to enter a trade. BNX, ETH, they've literally not really giving us a direction yet. So we just have to watch them and see. Okay, so AVAX. This coin I missed. I need to talk the story. Okay, so Blessed Avax has broken out of a resistance. So we should be expecting, or we are actually expecting a higher high on this. Although stop loss may be a little wide, but we're expecting a higher high on this. This is our next resistance here. So that trade is just about 1:1. If we had bought it early within the zone, it would have been more beneficial to us. But with the current get up, we have less than 1:1. So we just have to suck it up and leave this one. So, but if we expect the market to come all the way to $21, it may be a bit of a stretch, but it is possible. So if our target is actually at 21.5, yeah, we could actually take this trade from here. But if you're taking this trade to close at 19, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So if you're taking this trade all the way up, fine. But if you're just going to take it and wait for 19.5, it's really not worth it. And based on what I'm seeing on my RSI, this doesn't have that much juice to get us to $21. So my target for this is still just 19 $19, 19.6, give or take. Okay, if at all 19.6. So just watch out for that. This really isn't worth trading. And if I push my stop loss up, I could just be doing myself more harm. Okay, your stop loss should be at a trend invalidation point. If the trend does not become invalid where your stop loss is, then there's something wrong. Sorry, what was that? OPUSDT. Okay, looks like we have a trade here. Let me change this color. I don't be using my charts. I not be looking like flower bed. Okay, so we have this. We have a lower high trend. Now, normally this is actually a bearish continuation pattern, but we will risk it. This is a descending triangle. It's like a descending triangle. Okay, so this is a descending triangle, but based on what I have on the RSI, we have a really good chance of going up. Let me check the higher time frame. Sorry, but this really is not worth it. If we're taking a short-term trade to retest the resistance, which is our first take profit here, that would be there, and I cannot place my stop loss anywhere above this point. So that's already negative -2. So this really isn't worth trading at all. So we'll just leave that because there's a very good chance to have a bearish continuation. And our short-term target really isn't high enough to justify taking this trade. So we'll just leave that. You might want to aim and then take a sell from there. It will be much more beneficial to you. But for a buy, this really isn't good. So you could also watch for a breakout of this zone. If you break out from here, then you could take a bullish continuation. The skies are free, so we could actually have a decent uptrend on this one. So this is actually our trend invalidation for the descending triangle. So we go above this point, you have my blessing to take a buy position. But until that happens, it's not worth it. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the forex market and analyze GJ for Mr. Solar. GBP JPY. You see, Euro USD is still continuing itself. GBP JPY has bounced off of that resistance. Let's see how it goes though. So GBP JPY. I'm taking it off my watch list. Okay. So don't mind me. We've been trading this market for a very long time, so literally all our charts are plugged. They are full. Okay. So for GBP JPY, we have hit a minor resistance here. But if I had to guess, we're going to still have a bullish continuation, of course. So we already have a bullish divergence here. We already have a bullish divergence here. So we're already reacting to that. So personally, if you're taking a midterm trade, you could actually still enter this. Let's see if our risk to reward is good. That will be my stop loss. Take profit. So this still is 1:1. So the best thing that we could do, or this market could do for us, is to give us an entry somewhere here. If you could react to that resistance just a little bit more and give us an entry down here, we'll have a much better risk to reward. Now, please remember, trading is a business. It's really a business. The odds of making money have to be in your favor. You have to make more money than you stand to gain. Has that potential to make you lose money. So you have to be on the winning side always. It's not optional. It's not part-time. You have to be on the winning side always. The trade has to have a very good chance of playing out. The market has to have given you a good risk to reward ratio. As I said in one of our YouTube videos, you want unfair advantages in the market. You don't want 50-50. You don't want 50-50. You want 80-20, 70-30. You want unfair advantages in the market. So the odds have to be in your favor for all this to be worthwhile. If it's not in your favor, then there really isn't any point to it. Okay? So, guys, we've analyzed a couple of markets. So let's see how they play out over the next couple of days, and we'll see what we can do from there. So enjoy the trades, enjoy the analysis. If you have any questions, send them in the group, and we're going to be attending to them. All right.